Morning. It's Saturday, February 22nd. And this morning I want to talk about Elon Musk, the putz who is ripping this country apart. And when this billionaire on Thursday used a chainsaw as a prop to tout his efforts to shrink the federal workforce in the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE as it's known. Now, Musk had the nerve to wave it idiotically in the air at a conservative event, showing off that he's cutting through the heart of this nation, describing it as a chainsaw for bureaucracy. If I was describing it, I would describe it as a chainsaw for idiocy, a chainsaw for tearing things apart that he has no idea how they work. A chainsaw of major destruction for this country. And he has asked repeatedly about his efforts to find the waste and fraud in the federal government. And yes, there probably is some waste and some fraud in the federal budget and in the federal government. But throwing a chainsaw around is going way too far as I'm concerned. It's like throwing darts in a room full of targets, he said. Sure, you want to be a big shot. You want to make believe that you know what you're doing. But you're not. You don't know what you're doing. Yes, he's the world's richest man, and yes, he was successful in many things. But that doesn't mean you know how to take care of everything, that everything you're going to do is correct. So the Trump administration and Musk have insisted that they are carefully purging the federal workforce by firing only low-performing employees who are serving in non-critical roles. That is the biggest load of bullshit that anybody has told people in a long, long time. They're firing everybody, no matter who. How could they, in the space of zero time of research, know who to fire and who not to fire? You're elected president and you pick this guy Musk to start eliminating staff, and they're not even on the job. And they have done no research prior to winning the election. I can assure you of that fact. So, we have a guy who's a very rich man, and he's doing these things. And because he's rich, does that mean he's smart? No. CNN has found the exact opposite of what they're doing is happening. Recently promoted employees or people who have received very strong performance reviews were among those who were fired, who were terminated. So they're saying they're cleaning house? They're not cleaning house. This was an indiscriminate madness in action. So when they say they're getting rid of low performers and no employees, that is nowhere near the truth. And that is what Trump and that is what Elon Musk have insisted that they were doing. Carefully purging, they say, carefully firing people. They did nothing like that. How can you say that? You're in office 30 seconds and you start firing people? That is not what I would consider careful consideration of who's doing what job and how they're doing it. And who besides Musk is involved in this thing? So interviews with more than a dozen recently fired, laid off federal employees, plus documents obtained by one of the news stations, demonstrate that firing decisions are far more arbitrary, and that many cases of firing are the exact opposite of what Trump and Musk are claiming. People who have been recently promoted or received strong performance reviews were among those who were terminated. So they didn't do their homework. They just went about cleaning house, so to speak. That is not what this nation needed at this particular time. Yes, there's probably some dead wood in all of the government departments, but it takes a certain amount of time to achieve who it is the dead wood. And your view of who's dead wood is not necessarily accurate. Have you done those jobs? Do you know anything about it? Have you talked to people who are responsible for handling all of these employees? Have you talked to them? No! They went on a rampage. A lone single six-shooter going crazy in the street. In some cases, employees achieved excellence from their superiors last year, and they were fired. And probably their supervisors were fired. So this purging of our government employee staff is a disgrace to the United States and a disgraceful performance to show the rest of the world how to create a strong government. We have created a weak government, a situation that will take more than 4 years to get straightened out, if it ever does get straightened out. So I leave you pissed off this morning that these poor people have lost their job for no reason except showing off the might of somebody who is in position to do great damage to the population of this country. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.